Hi there, welcome to No Nonsense Whiskey. My name's been PF, and on today's episode we've actually got a rum on the table, but we'll get into that a little bit later on. What I want to do is talk a little bit about the actual project that's going on here. This is the Rhythm and Booze Records, and they're a really excellent independent bottler that are going to be, this is their second release actually, but they're going to be releasing bottles gradually over their lifespan, where they pair those bottles with a playlist on SoundCloud, and in this case actually it's an exclusive EP that's been written and produced especially for this bottling. You can't get these tracks anywhere else, and that was the same with the last release. Not sure exactly what they're going to do going forwards, but the interesting thing is that it's all going to be different styles of music. So the first one was a kind of bluesy vibe, which was by the actual Rhythm and Booze project, which inspired the name Rhythm and Booze Records. This time round, we've got a four-piece Latin pop quartet, Feli los Malos. Sorry if I'm massacring the pronunciation of that. And they do all of their music in Spanish, and it's kind of like boogaloo, like I said, Latin pop. It's obviously not a kind of genre that I normally listen to, but that's what I quite like about this project. Now, from a reviewing point of view, obviously, you know, this is designed to be listened to and played back and whatever. But the thing I've really liked about this so far is obviously when I do my reviews, I do a little bit of research beforehand. I spend a little bit of time on the internet, maybe talking to the producers and whatnot. In this case here, you know, I'm not really a rum guy, as you guys know, you know, so I didn't really want to research the rum too much. It's kind of inconsequential. I would usually spend time looking at things on the internet. In this case, the research here is listening to some music. So while literally researching this, I would put the playlist on, and I would sit there with my headphones on, or the speakers going, or whatever I'm doing that particular day, and just drink the whiskey, or in this case, the rum, and just sit back and listen to the playlist and drink the rum, which I have to say is not something that I've done in a long time. You know, music, I listen to music a lot, but it's usually in the car, or while I'm cleaning, or in the background when we've got people over. I can't remember the last time I just put on a record or whatever and just sat and listened to it, even with or without a dram. You know, worst case scenario, I might have like a magazine or something. You know, always doing something else. So the thing that I've really appreciated about this project so far, in the two instances I've covered, I did a live stream with Felipe a couple of months ago where we talked about the first release and his career. Well worth checking out. There's a little bit of music on that one as well. But yeah, going through this one here, it's just I've really appreciated the opportunity to slow down and just experience what it's meant to be experienced in this dram, which I think is astounding. I think it's well worth checking them out just for that alone. It's really interesting. There's a QR code on the back of every bottle, and you can just scan that and you get access to the tracks. In this case, I think it's 6 tracks, and it's just really interesting. I wish I could play some to be able to show you what we're talking about here, but that's why I think this project is interesting, and that's why I think that they deserve to be paid attention to going on, even if you're not a rum person, or in this case, a Latin pop person. It's just an interesting way of going about it, I think. Okay, let's get into the actual bottle then and see what we've got here today. We've got a half-litre bottle, 50%. This is a 4-year-old Trinidad cask, single cask rum. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not a huge rum guy. I did a rum advent calendar last year, and it was very hit and miss. I did find some that I liked, and it turns out that I've got a bit of a price threshold on when I like them or not. It turns out to be about 50 quid, which this is £55 for the half-litre. So yeah, very interesting. Let's get into the actual dram then and see what we've got in the glass. Looks pretty good. I don't know, I mean, I assume, I don't know what they do with rum. Genuinely, like I said, I'm not a rum guy. Let's get onto the nose. Now for me, the first overwhelming characteristic is desiccated coconuts, dried coconuts. It's pineapples, bananas, all the things like tropical vibes that you would get, I guess. And for me, it's on the back end of it, it sweetens into a bit of a vanilla cheesecake. Nice enough nose, I'm enjoying it. Let's try on the palate. Okay, interesting. It's one of those ones where the palate translates nicely across from the nose. It's all those same flavours. Really mouth-watering. I find it hard to actually talk while the dram was there, because my mouth was just going nom nom, salivating. Now at the back end of it all, once all those tropical notes disappear, I'm getting some chocolatey vibes, kind of like a velvety white chocolate almost, and then almost some tannins come out of nowhere, and I'm getting a whole heap of charred oak at the back end, which is really interesting. Then it kind of sours out a little bit into a medium long finish with a little bit of pepperiness in there, very fruity, and a little bit of tanginess on the back end, which I'm quite enjoying, very much so. Now, that's the cool thing about this, because, like I said, I've said it 3 or 4 times now, I'm not really a rum guy, but I'm really enjoying this rum. It's not overly in my face at all. It's nice and smooth, if I dare use the dreaded S word. Very palatable, very easy drinking. Paired with the music, it's just chill. You know, it's all very like, for me, I don't know if this, hopefully this doesn't offend the guys, but for me, I'm getting very islandy vibes from it. You know, sitting on a beach, just chilling, band playing in the background, that sort of thing. It's not my usual go-to kind of music, so that's kind of vibes that I get, and that's cool for me. That just means relaxing times. That's what we like. So yeah, very much enjoying this. I think it's definitely worth checking out. If you're into that sort of thing, then make sure you check out the links below. You can go direct to their website and see what they're all about. But for me, an absolute winner, and I'm going to enjoy having a different style of rum on my shelf for a change. Cheers. I'll see you again on more videos.